Can You Remember by Tim Harper for Beth Harper. An epic love story in 3 minutes or less with very little rhyming and no iambic pentameter or any other attention to grammar. Copyright 2017, all rights reserved. Now that you are snow-haired and I am no-haired, can you remember when you and I held hands on that lonely beach in Samoa? I suppose it's a good thing old missionaries can kiss. Remember the time we watched the sunset from Victoria Peak in Hong Kong? What about shopping for 17 coats in Shanghai? And there was that long walk in the sand on Anegada in the Virgin Islands, right? Can you remember dropping missionaries off at the MTC? It seemed like only the day before we'd left them at BYU to start classes. And just the previous week, we were still going to their high school band concerts, watching football and soccer games and track meets and paying for endless music and dance lessons. I thought it was more fun when our kids left us at the MTC. And that really was yesterday, or maybe 2 years ago. Can you remember the elementary school carnivals, parent-teacher conferences, high school lunch bunch, where a week's groceries were consumed in 13 minutes? Marching band competitions, driving to piano, oboe, flute, trumpet, trombone, and dance lessons. Can you remember changing those 29,740 diapers? You say it was only for 17 years, but it seemed longer to me. What about the nights when the baby had just gone to sleep as the teenagers came home from their dates? What about the snowball fights, water skiing parties, watching little ones learn to walk, and one-year-old birthday cakes smeared all over? Can you remember having 7 babies? It just didn't seem that tough to me. But it was fun to race to the hospital. What about when I gave you some new point shoes with your diamond ring tied between them? We danced for a minute or two, didn't we? And can you remember how I held you over the fountain and asked if you would marry me forever? Of course, there was also the part about how I would drop you in the water if you answered wrong. But did you say yes just so you wouldn't get wet? Or did you really want to marry me as Alzheimer's, dementia, hearing loss, and diminished eyesight crawl after us? I'm worried that you may forget all the fun we had along with our troubles. And during the journey, was it really fun or just really hard work? Maybe it's easier to remember the fun and harder to remember the other stuff. We were there working together for the fun and the other. I suppose that's what matters. Just one more question, please. If all the remembers were backwards, and you could remember them before you answered at the fountain, would you still have said yes?